What? When you talking to me, you talking about a nigga that'll fuck your whole world up. You and your boys make a scene, I'm thinking AC Green, cause it's gonna be at least 4 or 5 you niggas in the room curled up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You ain't nothing but a MC.
Welcome to another edition of The Buck Stops Here. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50, the illest battle rapper in the game, here to bring you the latest in battle rap news. And today, we're here to talk about the art of the punchline, how it works, and also how sometimes it doesn't work. Let's talk about it. Like I said, I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50. The illest. I don't care if you don't know. I'm here to do the promo. That rhyme. I guess I do got what it takes. But nevertheless, I'm not going to tell you everything, my every little secret into the punchline, but I'm going to give you a little bit of the recipe of how it can go right and also how a punchline can go wrong. I hope everybody is out there 100, being solid, despite the madness of what's going on. We all going through it. Got to wear a mask, all that craziness, but just be safe, man. Live your life, do what you do. As myself, as a battle rapper who's had over 20 battles, I've evolved. My punches have evolved drastically. As time went on, punches just became more intricate, more harder to solve, and just complex yet beautiful complexity that you got to think about before you get it. And I don't think I really get credit for that. I mean, I get credit for it at the time, but nobody ever say, yo, man, this dude, if you can compare him to what he was before, it's like, it's not even, it's the same. I don't even use the word like, you know. If you listen to like a battle, like say where our battle drops, a rap for darn near 9 minutes, countless punchlines. Not one time that I use the word like to set up a punch. For me, a punchline, it can come at any moment. I can be talking with somebody, regular discussion. That person might say the harder they come, the harder they fall in the midst of the discussion. And that may trigger something in me. And then I start thinking like, how can I make that into a line? But it's gotta be fire. Ain't nothing basic over here, man. Ain't nothing basic over here. I'm not going to come at you and say, I'll give you 12 like Tom Brady. What? Come on, man. If you know Hound Dog, you know I'm not coming like that. You know that had to be something I wrote on the way to the battle. If you ever hear me say I give you 9 like Drew Brees, I give you 12 like a dozen of eggs, man, if you don't get up out my face with that, I'm not even gonna cuss, man. But I don't rhyme like that. My whole thing is, thoughts sometimes come to me out the sky. And once they come to me out the sky, it's my job to encrypt it and break it down. I should say, break it down and then rebuild it. And make sure that you don't get it right away. But I don't want to make it complex to the point where nobody gets it. I want you to just not get it exactly at the time when I say it, but to get it maybe 5 to 10 seconds later. That's the beauty of it. That's what I be on in 2020. That's how I do it. I don't know how Montel Jordan do it, but that's how I do it. You're lucky. You're lucky. This coronavirus got my ass locked inside. It keeps me from getting busy. But my mind is always in rotation. and the bar never slips from my grasp. As soon as I get it, bong, put it down on the paper, put it down on the phone. And like I said before, I can't tell you everything, but like I said, my bars come from different places, different inspirations. It's not always a typical New Jack City type of bar or Sylvester Stallone from Rocky. We're a little too complex for that. My bars can come from anywhere, and I make sure that the setup is got a different rhythm, so by the time I get to the punch, you don't really know where the punch is coming from, huh? But let's talk about what can make the punch go right. Would we say that? Yeah. What makes the punch go right is this, the way that it's put together. I'm gonna be vague because I can't give you everything, but I'm gonna say the way that this is put together has a lot to do with how the punch is received and making sure that you don't overdo it. Now on the other side, we've all gone through this where we had bars that we thought was going to hit, but they didn't hit. And sometimes it's not always that the crowd is quote unquote asleep. Sometimes it may have been something that we did wrong. For instance, maybe we didn't control the crowd. Maybe the crowd went crazy over a previous bar and we just started rapping and didn't settle the crowd down. So by the time you got to that next bar, it was too much hysteria for them to get it. Sometimes it may be too many words. So by the time you get to the bar, the words crowd the bar and the bar can't breathe. When you say hound dog, what you mean the bar can't breathe? What they dog say? Hold up. I'm just gonna make up some random stuff right now. It don't really make no sense, but just an example. Let's just say Stray Cat is the final bar. That's where the punchline is supposed to be, Stray Cat. And then you say something about you run with the beef, you come to the street, you gonna get it like a stray cat. Okay. You come with the beef, you run to the street, you gonna get it like a stray cat. But when you say it in the midst of the hysteria, you come with the beef, you run to the street, you gonna get it like a stray cat. Then maybe it might be too much going on in there. So by the time you get to stray cat, they don't feel the impact. But then you might have to take one of them lines out. Instead of saying you come with the beef, you run with the street, just say you come to the street, you gonna get it. You come to the street, you gonna get it like a stray cat. Take the like out. Come to the beef, you gonna run to the street, you stray cat. Sometimes you gotta take a little bit out to let that punchline breathe, and then the crowd will resonate with the punch. Sometimes less is more, but we all learn that as we evolve in battle rap. Then also another thing that can go wrong with a punch, what you using as your reference. Here's the thing. In battle rap, a lot of times everybody is not going to get your punch. But if the majority of the people in the room didn't get your punch, then that's a reflection of what you talked about. If you're going to talk about a show, but it's going to be a bar about a show that came on back in the days, you got to be selective. I'm going to tell you why. I'm 50. No need to lie. Never have, never will. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm 38. We ain't doing that. But the reason I even said that is to say this. There's shows from my era that was popular, right? But they didn't transcend through the generations. So if I used a bar about one of those shows, it wouldn't hit. Now you got certain shows like Good Times. You got kids 11 years old, to know about good times. If I said a bar about good times, a lot of people in the crowd would get it. Some wouldn't, but the ones who didn't would feel stupid because they would notice that everybody else got it. The Cosby Show came out years ago, but with repeats, it moved through the generations and still had relevance. You can use that bar from the Cosby Show and it'll hit. But if it was a show that was popular in '81, but didn't cut through the culture and remain, then you want to stay away from that, because you want to have a high percentage of connectivity when you say that punch. If you talk about a gun, you want to make sure you're talking about a gun that most people will be familiar with. If you're talking about some off-branch gun that's not really known, you're not going to have many people reacting. It is what it is. If you're going to talk about a boxer, you want to use Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, Earl Spence. Better yet, a better analogy is if you're going to use a punchline, a boxer from a punchline that's back in the day, you would use Mike Tyson. If you say Joe Louis or Jack Dempsey, them boys ain't going to know who the hell you talking about. You say Tyson, dude's 16, no, Tyson was a dude who used to knock people out. Because Tyson has his reputation has gone throughout the generations. And that's just some of the things that can help you create, but also on the other side, some of the things that can cause your bars to fall short of the mark. But I'm not going to give you the whole secret on how I do it. I just gave you a little bit. So on that note, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.